My dear brothers and sisters, there comes a time in life when you have to stop and ask yourself a very painful question. Why am I destroying my own peace for people who would never do the same for me? Why am I losing sleep over people who sleep peacefully after hurting me? Why am I constantly trying to make people happy when they have never stopped to ask whether I am okay? My dear brother, my dear sister, understand something very important. You were not created to spend your entire life chasing the approval of people. You were created to worship Allah. You were created to know Him, to turn to Him, to depend upon Him, and to live your life in a way that brings you closer to Him. People will come and go. People will praise you today and criticize you tomorrow. People will love you when you are useful to them and sometimes disappear when you need them most. But Allah does not change. Allah does not abandon you. Allah knows the tears you hide, the battles you fight silently, the sacrifices nobody sees, and the pain you carry behind your smile. Sometimes we give too much of ourselves to people. We keep forgiving the same behavior again and again. We keep answering messages when our hearts are exhausted. We keep explaining ourselves to people who have already decided to misunderstand us. We keep trying to prove our worth to people who never intended to appreciate it. And then we wonder why we are tired. You are tired because you are carrying something Allah never asked you to carry. You are trying to control what people think about you. You are trying to control how they treat you. You are trying to make everyone understand your intentions. But you cannot control people's hearts. You cannot force someone to appreciate you. You cannot force someone to respect you. You cannot force someone to love you. And the more you chase these things, the more you lose yourself. Allah did not ask you to be accepted by everyone. Allah asked you to be faithful to Him. Listen carefully. Being a good person does not mean allowing everyone to walk over you. Being forgiving does not mean repeatedly placing yourself in the same situation where you are constantly being harmed. Being kind does not mean you must say yes to everything. Being patient does not mean you have no boundaries. Sometimes the most Islamic thing you can do is step back. Sometimes you need to distance yourself without hatred. Sometimes you need to stop explaining. Sometimes you need to stop chasing. Sometimes you need to say, I forgive you, but I cannot continue like this. There is wisdom in protecting your heart from unnecessary damage. Your heart is an amana from Allah. Your time is an amana. Your energy is an amana. Your life is an amana. Do not spend all of it trying to earn the approval of people who will never be satisfied. Think about how often you have changed yourself just to fit into someone's expectations. You stopped speaking your truth because you were afraid they would be upset. You abandoned your own needs because you were afraid they would leave. You kept silent when you were hurt because you did not want conflict. You accepted disrespect because you thought losing the person would be worse than losing your dignity. But my dear friend, what is the point of keeping someone in your life if keeping them requires you to lose yourself? What is the point of having people around you if their presence constantly pulls you away from Allah, peace, dignity, and self-respect? You need to understand that sometimes losing a person is not the end of your story. Sometimes it is Allah making space for something healthier. Sometimes Allah removes someone because you were becoming too attached to them. Sometimes you thought they were your source of happiness, while Allah wanted you to discover that your real source of peace is Him. And this is where tawakkul comes in. Tawakkul does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop worshipping people's opinions. You stop making their approval the measurement of your worth. You stop waking up every morning wondering, does this person still like me? You stop going to bed thinking, why didn't they reply? You stop allowing one person's behavior to determine whether you feel valuable. Your value does not come from a message. Your value does not come from someone's attention. Your value does not come from someone's praise. Your value is not increased because someone chooses you. And it is not decreased because someone rejects you. Allah knows you. Allah created you. Allah knows your intentions. Allah knows what you have endured. So why are you allowing people who know only a small part of your story to determine how you feel about yourself? There are people who will only appreciate you when you are useful to them. As long as you are giving, they are around. As long as you are solving their problems, they call you. As long as you are available, they remember you. But the moment you need something, suddenly they are busy. The moment you say no, suddenly you have changed. The moment you establish a boundary, suddenly you are selfish. My dear brother, my dear sister, do not feel guilty for finally protecting your peace. You can love people without allowing them to control you. You can care about people without sacrificing your entire life for them. You can forgive someone without giving them unlimited access to hurt you again. And remember, forgiveness is powerful. Islam encourages us to forgive. But forgiveness does not mean pretending that nothing happened. Forgiveness means you release the hatred from your heart and leave the matter to Allah. You do not have to carry bitterness everywhere you go. You do not have to spend your nights planning revenge. You do not have to become cruel because someone was cruel to you. You can say, Ya Allah, I forgive them for your sake, but Ya Allah, give me the wisdom to protect myself from repeating the same mistake. That is strength. Real strength is not revenge. Real strength is being able to walk away without poisoning your heart with hatred. And perhaps today you need to hear this. Stop begging people to stay. If someone has made it clear that they do not value your presence, stop running behind them. You do not need to beg someone to recognize your worth. You do not need to repeatedly prove that you are loyal. You do not need to keep saying, please don't leave me. If someone chooses to walk away, let them walk. It will hurt. Yes, you may cry. You may struggle. You may miss them. You may wonder why Allah allowed it to happen. But keep turning to Allah. Say, Ya Allah, if this person is good for my dunya and my akhirah, bring goodness through them. And if they are not good for me, remove the attachment from my heart and replace it with something better. That is tawakkul. Sometimes you are not actually missing the person. You are missing the version of yourself that existed when you believed everything would work out with them. You are missing the memories. You are missing the attention. You are missing the feeling of being needed. But do not confuse attachment with destiny. Just because someone occupied your heart does not mean they were written to remain in your life forever. Some people are lessons. Some people are chapters. Some people teach you patience. Some teach you boundaries. Some teach you what you should never tolerate again. And some teach you how desperately you need Allah. Do not destroy your future because someone from your past hurt you. Do not stop trusting everyone because one person betrayed you. Do not become emotionally unavailable because someone took advantage of your kindness. Your kindness is not the problem. Your heart is not the problem. You simply need wisdom alongside kindness. You need boundaries alongside compassion. You need courage alongside forgiveness. The believer does not become hard-hearted because of pain. The believer becomes wiser through pain. And please understand this, you cannot make everyone happy. Even if you do everything right, someone will complain. Even if you remain silent, someone will misunderstand you. Even if you explain yourself, someone may still accuse you. Even if you give your best, someone may still say it was not enough. So stop making your life a competition for people's approval. If Allah is pleased with you, what more do you need? And if Allah is not pleased with you, what benefit is there in having the entire world praise you? There is a beautiful freedom that comes when you stop living for people. You start making decisions based on what is right rather than what will get applause. You start saying no when necessary. You start walking away from arguments that are destroying your peace. You stop responding to every accusation. You stop explaining every decision. You stop trying to convince people who have already chosen their opinion about you. You say, Allah knows my heart, and sometimes that is enough. Maybe you have spent years trying to keep a relationship alive. Maybe you have been the only one apologizing, the only one checking in, the only one making sacrifices, the only one trying to repair what the other person keeps breaking. And today you need to understand that relationships require effort from both sides. Islam teaches us to maintain family ties, to be kind, to reconcile, to forgive, and to show mercy. But that does not mean you must destroy yourself emotionally just to keep every relationship exactly as it was. There are times when distance is necessary. There are times when silence is wiser than another argument. There are times when you can make dua for someone from far away. Do not confuse being needed with being loved. Some people keep you around because you solve their problems, not because they value your heart. And if you disappear for a moment and everything collapses because you were carrying everything, perhaps you need to step back and ask yourself whether you have created dependency instead of healthy connection. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to say, I cannot do this today. You are allowed to take care of yourself. There is no reward in destroying yourself simply because you were afraid someone might call you selfish. My dear brother, my dear sister, Allah knows what you give up for people. Allah knows the nights you cried quietly. Allah knows how many times you swallowed your words to avoid hurting someone. Allah knows how many times you chose forgiveness when you could have chosen anger. Nothing is lost with Allah. Even if people never thank you, Allah knows. Even if they forget what you did, Allah knows. Even if they never apologize, Allah knows. So do not let their lack of appreciation make you regret every good thing you did. You did it for Allah. Keep your reward with Allah. But now learn the lesson. Do good, but do not become a slave to people's expectations. Love, but love wisely. Give, but do not give until you have nothing left. Forgive, but learn. Trust, but use wisdom. Help people, but do not forget your own responsibilities. And most importantly, do not neglect your relationship with Allah while trying to maintain relationships with people. If a person is causing you to miss your salah, lose your values, compromise your faith, or constantly live in anxiety, then ask yourself whether this attachment is taking you closer to Allah or further away from Him. You have one life. You do not know how much time remains. Why spend that precious time chasing someone who does not care? Why spend your mornings checking who ignored you? Why spend your nights replaying conversations? Why keep asking, what did I do wrong? Sometimes you did nothing wrong. Sometimes people simply make choices. Sometimes people change. Sometimes people leave. And sometimes Allah allows them to leave because He knows something you do not know. So breathe, let go, turn toward Allah, make dua. Fix what you can fix. Apologize when you are wrong. Forgive when you can. Set boundaries when necessary. Walk away from what repeatedly destroys you. And do not be afraid of being alone for a season. Sometimes being alone with Allah is better than being surrounded by people who make you forget Him. The next time you feel like destroying yourself to keep someone happy, stop and ask, would this person do the same for me? And even if the answer is no, ask an even greater question, would Allah want me to destroy myself for this? Your answer will change everything. Allah wants you to be balanced. Allah wants you to be compassionate, but not foolish. Forgiving, but not careless. Strong, but not arrogant. Loving, but not enslaved to creation. You do not need everyone to understand you. You need Allah to know your heart. You do not need everyone to choose you. You need to know that Allah's choice for you is better than your own. You do not need everyone to stay. You need faith that whoever stays by Allah's permission is enough. And whoever leaves by Allah's wisdom will not take away what Allah has destined for you. So stop destroying yourself for people who would not do the same. Stop chasing people who keep walking away. Stop begging for attention. Stop measuring your worth through someone else's behavior. Return to Allah. Protect your salah. Protect your heart. Protect your dignity. Be kind. Be forgiving. Be generous. But remember that you are a servant of Allah before you are a friend, spouse, child, parent, colleague, or anything else. Your relationship with Allah comes first. And when you finally place your heart in Allah's hands, something beautiful happens. You still care, but you are no longer controlled by people's opinions. You still love, but you are no longer desperate. You still forgive, but you no longer allow repeated harm. You still give, but you give with wisdom. And when someone walks away, you may cry, but you do not collapse. You say, Allah is still here. When someone rejects you, you may hurt, but you do not lose yourself. You say, Allah knows what is best. When someone fails you, you may be disappointed, but you do not become hopeless. You say, my Lord will never abandon me. That is the freedom your heart has been searching for. Not the freedom to stop loving people, but the freedom to stop worshipping their approval. Not the freedom to become cold, but the freedom to become wise. Not the freedom to stop caring, but the freedom to care without destroying yourself. Put your trust in Allah. Do what is right. Keep your heart clean. And let Allah handle the people you cannot control. Because sometimes the person you are desperately trying to hold on to is exactly the person Allah is teaching you to release. And sometimes the door you are crying over is the door Allah is closing because He wants to protect you from something you cannot yet see. So lift your hands and say, Ya Allah, remove from my heart every attachment that takes me away from you. Give me the strength to walk away from what harms me. Give me wisdom to know what deserves my effort and what deserves my distance. Help me forgive without returning to harm. Help me love without losing myself. Help me give without expecting people's approval. And Ya Allah, make me so content with you that I never again destroy myself trying to be enough for people. Remember this, you are not here to be enough for everyone. You are here to live for Allah. And when Allah is enough for your heart, you will stop begging creation to fill a place that only the Creator can fill. My dear brother, my dear sister, there comes a moment when you realize that you have been spending too much of your life trying to make people happy. You keep adjusting yourself, changing your decisions, hiding your feelings, and sacrificing your peace because you are afraid someone might be disappointed in you. You say yes when you want to say no. You remain silent when you need to speak. You keep forgiving behavior that continues to hurt you. You keep explaining yourself to people who have already made up their minds about you. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to lose yourself while trying to keep everyone else comfortable. But ask yourself honestly, who are you living for? If your entire life is built around people's approval, you will never have peace because people are unpredictable. Today they may praise you. Tomorrow they may criticize you. Today they may call you their best friend. Tomorrow they may ignore you. Today they may tell you how important you are. Tomorrow they may make you feel like you are nothing. If your happiness depends on their behavior, then your happiness will always be in their hands, and you cannot give people that much control over your heart. Your heart belongs to Allah. Your ultimate purpose is not to make every person pleased with you. Your purpose is to seek the pleasure of Allah. This does not mean you become rude, selfish, or careless. Islam teaches kindness, mercy, respect, forgiveness, and good character. But kindness does not mean destroying yourself. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can forgive someone and still keep your distance. You can love someone and still recognize that their behavior is harmful to you. Sometimes you need to stop asking, what will they think? And start asking, what does Allah want from me? That one change can transform your life. When you choose Allah over people's approval, you become stronger. You no longer need constant validation. You no longer need everyone to understand your intentions. You no longer feel the need to respond to every accusation or prove yourself to every person who misunderstands you. You know that Allah knows what is inside your heart. Remember, people only see what is on the outside. Allah knows what you have carried inside. Allah knows the tears you wiped away before anyone saw them. Allah knows the sacrifices you made. Allah knows when you were trying your best. So stop destroying your peace just to maintain an image in the eyes of people. Do what is right. Speak with kindness. Help when you can. Forgive when you are able. But do not forget yourself, your responsibilities, your faith, and your relationship with Allah. There is a beautiful peace that comes when you realize you do not need to be accepted by everyone. You simply need to be sincere before Allah. Let people misunderstand you if they choose to. Let them talk if they want to talk. Let them leave if they choose to leave. You keep your character. You keep your faith. You keep your heart connected to Allah. Because when Allah is pleased with you, the approval of people becomes secondary. Do not spend your entire life trying to prove that you are worthy of love. You were never created to beg people for what Allah can provide. If someone appreciates you, be grateful. If someone does not, remain dignified. If someone stays, treat them well. If someone leaves, make dua and move forward. Your peace should not depend on who stays and who goes. Your peace should come from knowing that Allah is always with you. So today, release the pressure to make everyone happy. You cannot carry everyone's expectations on your shoulders. You have enough responsibilities before Allah. Take care of your faith. Protect your salah. Guard your heart. Do good without demanding applause. And remember that the person who truly needs to be pleased with your life is not the crowd, not the critics, not the people who come and go. It is Allah. When you live for Allah, you can finally breathe. You can say no without feeling guilty when saying no is necessary. You can walk away from unnecessary arguments. You can stop chasing people who do not value you. You can forgive without returning to the same pain. And you can sleep peacefully knowing that you did your best for the right reason. May Allah free our hearts from the chains of people's approval. May He give us the strength to be kind without destroying ourselves, generous without being exploited, forgiving without being careless, and humble without allowing ourselves to be humiliated. And may He make His pleasure more valuable to us than the praise of the entire world. Ameen. My dear brother, my dear sister, there is a difference between being kind and completely neglecting yourself. Islam teaches us to be merciful, generous, forgiving, and helpful. These are beautiful qualities. But sometimes we misunderstand kindness and think that being a good Muslim means allowing everyone to take advantage of us. It does not. You can have a soft heart and still have strong boundaries. You can care about people without allowing them to destroy your peace. There are people who will keep asking from you because they know you will never say no. They know you will always answer. They know you will forgive. They know you will come running whenever they need something. And slowly you become exhausted. You are giving and giving, but nobody asks whether you have anything left to give. You smile in front of everyone, but inside you are tired. You help everyone solve their problems while silently struggling with your own. Ask yourself, is this really kindness, or have I forgotten that I also have responsibilities toward myself? Your time matters. Your energy matters. Your emotional peace matters. Your relationship with Allah matters. If constantly pleasing someone causes you to neglect your salah, your family, your responsibilities, or your own spiritual growth, then something has gone wrong. Being kind does not mean saying yes every time. Sometimes saying no is necessary. Sometimes stepping away is necessary. Sometimes you have to tell someone, respectfully, I cannot do this. And you should not feel guilty simply because you have reached your limit. Allah does not ask you to carry what you cannot carry. There is also a difference between forgiveness and repeatedly putting yourself in harm's way. You can forgive someone because you want Allah's reward. You can remove hatred from your heart. You can make dua for them. But that does not mean you have to give them unlimited opportunities to hurt you again. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, manipulates you, lies to you, or takes advantage of your kindness, you are allowed to create distance. You do not need hatred in your heart to create a boundary. Remember, even your body has rights over you. Your family has rights over you. Your worship has rights over you. Your time has rights over you. You cannot give everything to everyone and then wonder why you have nothing left for Allah and yourself. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is stop enabling someone. If you constantly rescue a person from the consequences of their choices, you may actually be preventing them from learning. Helping someone does not always mean fixing everything for them. Sometimes you help by giving advice and then allowing them to make their own decisions. Do not confuse guilt with responsibility. You may feel guilty when you say no because you are used to always saying yes. But guilt does not always mean you have done something wrong. Sometimes guilt is simply the feeling that comes when you finally establish a healthy boundary. Be kind but be wise. Be generous but do not allow yourself to be exploited. Forgive but learn from what happened. Help people but do not abandon your own responsibilities. Love people but do not become dependent on their approval. And most importantly, do everything for Allah. If people appreciate you, alhamdulillah. If they do not, Allah saw it. If they thank you, alhamdulillah. If they forget, Allah did not forget. Your reward is not dependent upon people's recognition. So stop destroying yourself in the name of kindness. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to step back. You are allowed to protect your peace while still keeping your heart soft. May Allah give us wisdom to know when to give, when to forgive, when to speak, and when to walk away. And may He never allow our desire to please people to make us neglect the one whose pleasure matters most. Ameen. My dear brother, my dear sister, one of the most important lessons you will learn in life is that not everyone deserves unlimited access to your heart. You can love people without telling them everything. You can forgive someone without allowing them to repeatedly hurt you. You can care about someone without making them the center of your entire life. Your heart is precious, and you should not hand it over to everyone who knows how to make you feel needed. Sometimes we trust people too quickly. We tell them our deepest struggles, our fears, our plans, our weaknesses, and our private matters. Then one day, that same person changes. They become distant. They use your secrets against you. They remind you of your weaknesses whenever there is an argument, and you wonder, how could someone I trusted do this to me? The lesson is not that you should never trust anyone again. The lesson is that trust should be earned. Islam teaches us beautiful character, but Islam also teaches wisdom. You do not need to become cold because someone hurt you. You do not need to hate everyone because one person betrayed you. Instead, learn. Let the experience make you wiser, not bitter. Keep your heart soft, but let your mind become stronger. There are people who deserve your kindness, but not your complete vulnerability. There are people you can greet with a smile, but should not invite into every corner of your life. There are people you can forgive, but should not return to the same unhealthy situation with. And there are people you can make dua for from a distance. Sometimes distance is not hatred. Distance is protection. You can say, I wish you well, but I cannot continue allowing this relationship to damage me. That is not arrogance. That can be wisdom. You do not have to fight. You do not have to insult anyone. You do not have to expose their faults to the world. You simply step back and allow Allah to deal with what you cannot fix. And remember, forgiving someone does not mean forgetting every lesson. If someone repeatedly shows you who they are, pay attention. Do not keep ignoring the signs simply because you remember the good times. People can have good qualities and still be harmful for you. Someone can be kind sometimes and still be unhealthy for your life. Someone can have a place in your memories without having a place in your future. Your heart needs boundaries just as your home does. You would not open your front door to every stranger and give them access to everything inside your house. So why would you give every person access to your deepest emotions, your private struggles, and your personal decisions? Protect your heart from unnecessary drama. Protect your peace from people who constantly create confusion. Protect your faith from relationships that pull you away from Allah. And do not feel guilty for doing so. At the same time, do not become suspicious of everyone. Give people a fair chance. Be respectful, be kind, assume good when appropriate, but observe consistency. Watch actions, not just words. Someone may say, I care about you, but their actions reveal whether they truly respect you. Someone may promise to change, but real change is shown through consistent behavior. And if someone leaves your life after you establish a boundary, let them go. You may feel pain, but do not chase them simply because you are afraid of being alone. Sometimes losing access to someone is actually gaining access to peace. Ask Allah to give you people who bring you closer to Him, people who remind you of goodness, people who respect your boundaries, people who sincerely want good for you. And ask Allah to make you that kind of person for others too. Do not give your heart to people while forgetting the one who created your heart. Your deepest dependence should always be upon Allah. People may disappoint you, but Allah never betrays you. People may leave, but Allah remains. People may misunderstand you, but Allah knows you completely. So forgive without becoming foolish. Love without becoming dependent. Trust without abandoning wisdom. Give without destroying yourself. And when someone repeatedly proves that they are not safe for your heart, have the courage to step back peacefully. You do not need to hate them. You do not need revenge. You simply need to say, Ya Allah, I leave this matter with you. Protect my heart, guide them, and guide me toward what is better. May Allah give us the wisdom to know whom to trust, the courage to establish healthy boundaries, the strength to forgive, and the humility to recognize when a relationship is no longer good for our faith and our peace. And may Allah surround us with people who sincerely love us for His sake and help us become better servants of Him. Ameen. My dear brother, my dear sister, there is a point in life where you have to stop chasing people's approval and start seeking the pleasure of Allah. Because if you spend your entire life trying to make people happy, you will eventually become exhausted. You will change yourself for one person, then another, and before you know it, you no longer know what you actually want, what you believe, or what direction your life is supposed to take. But when you turn your heart toward Allah, things begin to change. You realize that you were never created to impress creation. You were created to worship the Creator. People's approval is temporary. Today someone may praise you. Tomorrow they may criticize you. Today they may call you important. Tomorrow they may forget you. If your happiness depends on their opinions, you will constantly be emotionally exhausted. But Allah's knowledge of you does not change. Allah knows your intentions, your struggles, your sacrifices, and the battles you fight when nobody is watching. You may be misunderstood by people, but you are never misunderstood by Allah. Sometimes you are holding on to a person because you are afraid of what will happen if they leave. You think, what will I do without them? But remember, Allah was there before that person entered your life, and Allah will be there if that person leaves. Do not make a creation the condition for your happiness. People can be a blessing, but they are not your Lord. Your heart should be attached to Allah first. When you stop chasing people, you do not become careless. You become balanced. You still respect people. You still love your family. You still help those in need. You still maintain good character. But you stop begging for attention. You stop forcing relationships. You stop trying to convince someone to value you. You stop destroying your peace because someone refuses to understand you. Sometimes Allah removes someone from your life and you think it is punishment. You cry, you question, you wonder why things changed. That later you may realize that what you thought was a loss was actually protection. Allah sees what you cannot see. Allah knows what is hidden behind people's smiles. Allah knows what would happen if certain doors remained open. So when Allah closes a door, do not spend your entire life trying to force it open. Have tawakkul. Trust Allah even when you do not understand. Say, Ya Allah, I wanted this person to stay, but if their presence is not good for me, give me the strength to accept your decision. If this relationship is good for my dunya and akhirah, bring goodness into it. If it is harmful, remove the attachment from my heart and replace it with something better. And understand something beautiful. What Allah has written for you will not miss you. You do not need to chase what is already destined for you. You do not need to manipulate people to keep what Allah has chosen for you. You do not need to live in fear that someone will take away your future. What is yours will reach you by the permission of Allah. So stop measuring your worth through people's attention. Stop asking whether you are good enough because someone rejected you. Stop thinking that someone's departure means you are worthless. Sometimes Allah allows rejection because He is redirecting you. Sometimes Allah allows loneliness because He wants you to discover the sweetness of turning to Him. Take your pain to Allah. Take your disappointment to Allah. Take your loneliness to Allah. Make dua when nobody understands. Pray when your heart feels heavy. Cry in sujood. Tell Allah what you cannot tell anyone else, and then trust Him. When you begin seeking Allah's pleasure, you become free. You can say no without fear. You can walk away without hatred. You can forgive without returning to harm. You can love without becoming dependent. You can lose people without losing yourself. So make Allah your priority. If people love you, thank Allah. If they leave, trust Allah. If they praise you, remain humble. If they criticize you unfairly, remain patient. Your goal is not to win every person's approval. Your goal is to stand before Allah one day with a heart that sincerely tried to please Him. May Allah free our hearts from the need for constant approval. May He give us tawakkul when people leave, patience when we are misunderstood, wisdom when relationships become difficult, and strength to choose His pleasure over the approval of creation. And may He replace every painful attachment with a stronger connection to Him. Ameen. My dear brother, my dear sister, if there is one thing you take away from this entire reminder, let it be this. Stop destroying yourself for people who would not do the same for you. Stop losing your sleep over people who are sleeping peacefully. Stop questioning your worth because someone failed to recognize it. Stop chasing people who keep walking away. You were not created to spend your entire life begging for approval from creation. You were created to know Allah, worship Allah, trust Allah, and return to Allah. Be kind, but do not neglect yourself. Forgive, but do not repeatedly place yourself where you are constantly being harmed. Love people, but do not make them the center of your world. Help others, but do not forget your own responsibilities. Give generously, but do not allow your kindness to become something people use against you. Set boundaries without hatred. Walk away without revenge. And when someone leaves your life, do not assume that your life is over. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like loss is actually Allah making room for something better. Sometimes the person you are desperately trying to hold on to is the very person Allah is teaching you to release. You may not understand it today, but trust Him. Allah sees what you cannot see. Allah knows what you do not know. And Allah's plan for you is greater than your ability to understand it. Do not allow one person's betrayal to make you bitter toward everyone. Do not allow one broken relationship to destroy your relationship with Allah. Do not allow people's rejection to make you reject yourself. You are not worthless because someone walked away. You are not insignificant because someone failed to appreciate you. Your value does not come from people's attention. Your value is not determined by who chooses you. Allah knows you, and that should be enough to keep you standing. There will be moments when you feel lonely. There will be nights when you miss someone. There will be times when you wonder why Allah allowed certain people to leave. In those moments, do not run back to what Allah may have removed for your protection. Run toward Allah, make salah, make dua, cry to Him. Tell Him everything. Ask Him to heal your heart and remove the attachment that is hurting you. And remember, you do not have to hate anyone to move forward. You can forgive someone and still keep your distance. You can wish someone well and still choose peace. You can remember the good times without reopening a door that caused you pain. That is maturity, that is wisdom, that is strength. So from today, stop asking, how can I make everyone happy? Instead ask, how can I live in a way that Allah is pleased with me? Stop asking, why didn't they choose me? Ask, what is Allah teaching me through this? Stop asking, how do I make them stay? Ask, Ya Allah, if this is good for me, keep it with goodness. And if it is harmful, give me the strength to let it go. Your heart is too precious to be controlled by people's opinions. Your time is too valuable to spend chasing people who do not value you. Your life is too short to constantly prove yourself to people who have already chosen not to understand you. Walk with Allah, trust Allah, seek His pleasure. Keep your heart soft, but keep your boundaries strong. Be generous, but be wise. Forgive, but learn. Love, but do not lose yourself. And when you cannot control what people do, remember that you can always control where you turn. Turn to Allah. Because people may leave you, but Allah remains. People may forget you, but Allah never forgets you. People may misunderstand your heart, but Allah knows every hidden intention. People may reject you, but Allah can open doors you never imagined. So lift your hands and say, Ya Allah, I am tired of chasing what was never meant for me. I am tired of trying to be enough for everyone. Give me peace with your decree. Give me strength to walk away from what harms me. Give me wisdom to know who deserves my trust. Help me forgive without becoming foolish, love without losing myself, and give without destroying my peace. And Ya Allah, Make your pleasure more valuable to me than the approval of the entire world. And then let go. Let go of the person. Let go of the approval. Let go of the endless explanations. Let go of the fear that you will never be okay again. Place it all in the hands of Allah. You do not need everyone to stay. You need Allah to remain at the center of your heart. And when Allah is enough for you, you will no longer destroy yourself trying to be enough for people. May Allah heal every heart that has been broken by rejection. May He give peace to those who have been taken for granted. May He strengthen those who are struggling to let go. May He replace every painful attachment with something better. May He surround us with people who sincerely want good for us and bring us closer to Him. And may He make us people who never make others destroy themselves just to earn our love. May Allah make us content with His decree, patient through our trials, grateful for His blessings, and completely dependent upon Him. Ameen.